Can a home purchase closing be delayed due to a hurricane approaching? That depends upon whether or not the contract has a provision in it concerning hurricanes. The contract that is most widely used by the realtors and it's approved by the Florida Bar has a provision concerning hurricanes and how it's delayed, and also to be able to look at the property to see if there's any damage. As a practical matter, it usually is delayed because you have to have insurance for the lender if there's a lender involved, and if there's so you can't close unless the lender's ready to lend the money, and you have to have insurance. So once it enters into a certain longitude and latitude called the box, well, then they quit writing insurance. So then the lender can't close the loan because there's no insurance. Lenders also, if there's a storm that has gone through, will require the property to be re-inspected before they will agree to close the loan. So whenever you have a willing buyer and a willing seller, they usually agree to delay this rather than starting all over again to see about selling the property, depending on what happened during the hurricane and there is no damage involved. So the insurance is a big factor, and as a practical matter, you go ahead and see about delaying those. If there's no provision in the contract for a delay and the parties, are looking for a reason to get out, and the mortgage is not a contingency any longer in the contract, I believe that the seller could determine the buyer was in default for failure to close on the contract. But in my experience, particularly in the area that I practice in, which is the west coast of Florida, we rarely lose a transaction, or the seller takes that approach, and that they usually want to sell the property and deal with the practical problems that we experience as a result of a hurricane. And we've been blessed that we haven't had any direct hits for over 100 years. So if you have any questions about your contract and closing, and hopefully we don't have any approaching hurricanes, well, give me a call at 727-847-2288.